Alright, so don't worry, this video is not going to be entirely, cold starts. I actually have to wait to do the G6 repair tomorrow because it is extremely, dangerously cold out here this morning. And I'm really doing this because my Escape, I think, has a weak battery. And because the battery's so weak, my wife's got to work today, and in case it doesn't start, I can jump it with the Fiesta. But right now, it is about 5 below without the wind chill. So this is so far the coldest start we're going to have on the channel thus far. Big gloves make things difficult. There. Oh boy, it is very, very cold. Let's turn that off first. We'll turn that off too. Okay. Even the Fiesta's a little slow. No, can't push anything with these gloves. There. So this car has been sitting for about 36 hours. And with it being, like I said, about 5 below, let's see if it starts. Everything's off. The thing says 2. Here we go. Oh, it's dead. Look at that. Look at the needles. Nope. That's great. I had a feeling that was going to happen. Nope. Oh boy. Alright. Oh, these things are so stiff. I'm going to have a hard time trying to put these on. Whew. Need it again for the... Well, now the Fiesta's cleared off. It's just iced over pretty good. I don't see anything in the eye this morning. This is gonna suck because those cables are so stiff. Cannot believe it's dead. Yeah, I can. It's absolutely freezing out here. Alright. This is gonna be a treat. Okay, so as to be expected, these cables are completely frozen. got sparks. Let's see. Have to take those gloves off now. There we go. Oh good, I'm glad that didn't take long. Sheesh. Alright, so I'm gonna let that run for a while. She's gonna go to work. Hopefully when I need to leave in a few hours, it should be able to start on its own. And now we'll get to the G6 issue right now. Alright guys, we are now in the G6. It is the next day. I'm going to show you guys what's going on. What is that noise? There is a thud. There's a lot going on with this car today. Seriously, there's a thud like a tire's flat or something. It is cold, but still. So, there's quite a few things that we have to do to this car today. The big thing, obviously, is you see the check engine light is on, and this is why it's important to pay attention to your check engine light. As you can kind of maybe hear the engine. But what we have here is we have a problem with the car. The check engine light has been on long enough now to where we have a substantial issue under the hood. And took the car to get scanned. The check engine light is on because of a camshaft position actuator solenoid problem. It is code P0013, coming up on the onboard diagnostic system. And the camshaft position actuator solenoid is also called the Variable Valve Timing Solenoid. Now what we've got is a problem with the exhaust solenoid. There's one for the intake and there's one for the exhaust, and the exhaust is throwing the code P0013. And this issue has been here for quite a while now. This again is why you should never ignore your check engine light, because it could lead to a serious issue, and this is turning into a serious issue. This car does not want to accelerate, and when it does, if you push it hard enough, it's going to throw the tach up almost to redline, because that solenoid is finally kicking in like it should. And basically it's a big problem because, you know, if it's your variable valve timing solenoid and such, that's all related to the timing of the engine, and you definitely do not want to do anything to mess up the timing of your engine. Your timing is a very, very big deal in your engine. If you jump time or something, this engine could be toast. But I mean, this you know, it sounds okay, like the car's running, you know, no weird noises or anything, but it's that solenoid is not giving, you know, the computer and such proper response like it should, as far as, you know, throttle intake and oil pressure and such, which is another thing we're doing today. We're going to do the oil change on this car also. And ironically enough, it is almost completely out of coolant in the reservoir tank, so that's going to be another coolant thing that we're going to be doing here. So we got about 3 things, and now I got this thud noise that I'm hearing, so I'm going to have to take it to check the tire pressure before I actually head back to my house. And then we're going to go to my in-laws today, because it's still very cold out. It is 5 degrees according to this car. But I'm going to be using the garage at their place to be changing the oil and the solenoid and such. So yeah, now like I said, the code came on, we had it scanned, and changing out the solenoid should be the fix for this. Hopefully. I guess we're gonna find out once I change it here soon. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop this, and we're gonna head over back to my place and get ready to go out to my in-laws. Okay, so here we are. First thing we're gonna do, of course, is add that coolant, because that thing is completely empty. Now, what I'm putting in here today is just the AutoZone 50/50, because this car, we're not going to worry about putting the name brand in it. It was cheap, one of the cheaper options, and we're just going to fill it up to that cold bark. So the engine has been sitting here not running for a while, so it should be good enough to open this up. Always, again, use caution when opening this. Wait for the hiss, if there is a hiss. In this case, no. Looks good, I don't see anything on there. Alright. Now we'll just add this to it. Why do they make these bottles like this?
Can you get it okay?
That stuff's hard to see. I think it went to the...
right to there.
Yeah, I'm going to put a little more in it. Oh, okay. Yeah, that should be better. Not that one.
I have one for the oil that I use for oil.
Alright. It's funny how you can see the different colors in it now. Okay, so that's done. Now I can start it up and get this car on the ramps, and we'll do the oil change. You should see all the salt under this car. Holy crap. It is all white. Alright, here we go. 15, yep. Oh, well, didn't want to do that. Alright. How bad is this oil going to look? It's pretty black. Alright. Okay, we'll let that run. I'll wipe off the plug. We'll go up on top, take off the filter. Alright, so now we're going to do the filter. This one's pretty easy because you don't have to take off the air tube like you do on my mom's Malibu, but you still need that special 32mm socket. Oh, oops, spilled it over a little bit. That filter is terrible. Wait till you see what this filter looks like. Yeah. Let the rest of that run out. Oh boy. Looks like we're done with the oil. I checked the plug, I wiped it off. The seal still looks good on it. Let's go ahead and stop this. All right. Oh man.
Would that be alright?
Yeah, that's fine. Look at how bad this filter's chewed up.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Okay, so clean filter is in place.
The new ring is there. This one's black. It's threaded all the way to the bottom. Make sure you wipe down the threads of the cap. It's ready to go back in. By this time, I can't feel my fingers again. What do I do with my socket? Oh, here it is. Turn it, turn it, turn it. There we go. One more nudge. Filters in. Let's fill it up. We are going to use our conventional 5W30. All 5 quarts go into this engine. Man, everything's thick. I don't think I've ever bought this one before. Well, I had to go to AutoZone because they were the only ones that had the solenoid.
Oh, yeah.
So I just got whatever their oil change special was. All right. Put this back on. Everything's on, filters on, caps on. Let's start it up and get this car off the ramps. Pressure's up. Sounds good. Alright, so now we'll get it off the ramps, pull it into the garage so my hands don't continue to freeze because of the wind. We'll change out that solenoid and hopefully that won't be so hard. Alright, so I've got the car running just for a little bit so I can de-thaw my hands inside, but what we're going to have to do to get to this variable valve timing solenoid is it's basically right under this part of the cover. So on this particular car, the cover is basically hooked up to the throttle body, which means I'm going to have to unclamp it here at this air tube. We're going to, I think, yeah, this line here, that's probably the PCV valve, I think. But this, I think, is connected to this cover also, so we're going to have to take some pliers and get that hose off there. And then all the way underneath, you can kind of see where the throttle body motor is, but there's another clamp over there somewhere. And it looks, you know, just like this with the flathead screw. So we're going to have to take a long screwdriver and probably going to have to go underneath there. Pull off the oil cap again, and then from there, I do believe this cover should just come right off and we should have no problem getting to that solenoid where it sits after that. So that's going to be our next move. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do with this process, because we're dealing with something electrical, and usually, not all the time that I do this, but in this case I'm going to because I'm not completely sure how this is all powered under here. We're going to disconnect the negative battery terminal. Make sure we don't have any power to any of the wiring under the car, or under the hood I should say.
Yeah, that's
It's really on there. What's up? Okay, so now we're going to loosen up this air tube. Try to get it off the end of there. Okay, and then I'm going to take some pliers and we're going to try to wiggle this tube off here, because I do believe from the looks of it, it is a part of this engine cover. There we go. So that's off. We're going to have to take the oil cap off again, as I mentioned. So I'm going to take like another piece of paper towel and just stick it in there, so that way nothing will, you know, go into that hole. So that should be good there. And now I do believe the last thing to do is we got to find that screw that's hidden back in here on that clamp, and loosen that, and then this cover should just, we should just be able to pull it off.
Here's your part.
Thank you. This is tricky. There we go.
Here's your part.
Thanks. Alright, so we just loosened that a little bit. It might be a little tricky to get to.
We'll see ya. Goodbye.
See ya. Okay, let's see if this thing will come off now.
Bye. See you in church. Love you. Bye, Mike.
Bye, Jeff. There we go.
Oh, is that? Yeah.
Okay, and there's the 2.4 liter without the cover on it. I'm actually surprised at how clean it is still under there. But that was kind of a pain. You shouldn't have to take all of that stuff off. Sure, that's still in there. Okay, so here's our sensors, our variable valve timing solenoids. So this is the one right here that's for the exhaust. This is the one that we're going to be replacing today. So we basically just have to disconnect this wiring harness going in there. There is, I think they said it was like a 10mm bolt or something down in there that you unscrew, and then you're supposed to be able to just pull it out. So let's see how easy this is going to be. Oh, that did it. Okay, so you squeeze the tab at the top here, and we just use this flathead screwdriver to kind of pry it at the base slightly, and it popped the connector right off. Now we need that, I think it was a 10mm.
Yeah, that's it.
No, it's coming.
Oh.
So it's 10mm.
These doors not too bad, even though the door's open.
There we go.
Wow. See?
Man, it's like pulling teeth.
Praise the Lord. Thank you, Jesus.
So here's what the old one looks like. You can kind of see all the gunk stuff on it. So there's probably like oil sludge and stuff in here, since this car honestly never gets the right amount of oil changes. But you can see all the stuff that might have been in there. Could have been from the engine cover, who knows. So now we're going to go and grab our new one. Okay, so here's the old one, and this is our new one. So the one that I bought is from AutoZone. It's the Duralast brand. AutoZone was the only one in the area who had this in stock, and that's why I went with that one. So it's also got a lifetime warranty if we ever have to do this again. I left the screw in there, just loosened it up, and we should just be able to kind of push this down in there, kind of wiggle it a little bit. Tighten it up. You don't want to over tighten it. I'm saying that because I'm using a pretty big ratchet. So I got it snug enough. And now we're just going to plug the connector back in. Snaps right on there. Not coming off. And that's that. Now unfortunately I got to hook everything back up with that cover before I can test it out. So hopefully hopefully everything is good.
You can't start it otherwise?
No, I got the valves off and the intakes off. So here's the cover, and on the back, that's that ring that you got to find right there with the clamp to take it off the throttle body. So that's where that's at, as you can see. So now we just got to push this back on into place. Okay, so I believe the cover snapped into place. The one thing that I just want to make sure of is that this is entirely over top of the throttle body. Like I said, it's kind of hard to see, but all of these other tabs are in place. The air snorkel's on. I just have to tighten it down. We'll put our PVC or PCV line back on here. Okay, so it's not coming off the throttle body. I think it's on there. So now we're just going to tighten everything down. I'm going to start with that one because that's the last one I took off. And like I said, it's kind of a pain under here. If you get a long flat head, you can find that little screw for that clamp. Definitely helps to have a flashlight. Okay. That's tightened. Tighten this up. We don't really need this anymore. That's tight. We can put our oil cap back on now. Make sure that's on. Okay. And our PVC valve. Squeezing these tabs here. Push that on. Try to keep that right there. There we go. And that should be it. So, we are going to reconnect our battery. And by unhooking this battery, again, it's going to reset the check engine light. So, we don't have to, necessarily do anything about that. I think we're going to have to seafoam this engine in the future. But 5 quarts is the limit on this, so it should be completely full. And it is completely full. Now let's go inside and see how it runs. Okay, so one thing that we do want to do, of course, is reset the oil life monitor. This is another reason why you shouldn't trust the oil life monitor, because, this car was at, I think, 35%. Yeah, 35%. And, I changed the oil at 102,000 miles last time. It is now at 107,000. That's 2,000 miles over. He thought he still had 35% of oil life left. That is exactly why you never want to trust these, so we're going to reset that anyway. Let's go ahead and see how it runs. Check engine lights off. So that's good to know. If there's any other issues, the light, of course, will come back on. Sounds good. It's got clean oil. It's got some new antifreeze in it. So once I get it on the road and I see how it drives, we'll know for sure if you know, all of the symptoms have been cleared up with that solenoid being replaced. Again, that's why you never want to ignore your check engine light. No, it's fine. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Thanks for watching this vlog. That's how you fix your variable valve timing solenoid, code P0013. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe. Also check out the Mike's Vehicle Spotlight and vlog merchandise over at teespring.com/stores/Mike's Vehicle Spotlight. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks again for watching. Take care.